My feeling is not like differences of the opinion. My feeling, my experience is more cultural oriented. Many Japanese people at night taking spend time with non-Japanese is not comfortable, and this is because of different opinion. Like my family for more than 30 years non-Japanese, okay? So I don't care about Japanese food or Japanese people, just comfortableness. So I spent Chinese people about 30 years and Korean families and so forth. This is, I think usually Japanese people are not comfortable to join into non-Japanese society or organization, especially with like European people or American people, usually. But this is because of different opinion. This is sort of kind of Japanese unique, uh, what is it? Unity or kind of unified society
Well,
or closed organization sort of thing.
okay, maybe it's very. You remember we talked about philosophy, and one of the key factors in Western philosophy is that everything, basically, one of the key drivers in every person's life is finding the truth. So, what do you think is the truth? And the truth is the higher finding. And some we have religion, of course, that's, on the one hand, that there is a God, and that's a common understanding. And on the other hand, there is the Western philosophy that basically teaches us that we have to find the truth within ourselves. So we have to be keen observers of what's happening and dissect the information and find the higher truth. But that is something that takes take part within yourself. So what is your truth? I think that Japanese society finds the truth in society, not within themselves, but what they are being told from their teacher, from their seniors, from the people around them. So the truth is not found within you. The truth is found from somewhere else. And that somewhere else, one of those teachers, basically, if there is because everybody does it, it's very much prone to common sense, to a general idea that we are copying from each other, and that's easily widespread, and that could very easily lead to misconceptions with the outside world.
One example is like if I'm single, I'm falling in love with American woman, and if going to start to live with her, even if she's American, I have no communication gap with her. Okay, I can spend whole day. I can spend whole day with her, including her family. Why? It's the truth, right? It's different. My family is Chinese Korean, but this case is get married and stay with their family 24 hours. Not only her, including her brother, sisters, and parents. No problem. I
But
I
Uno-san,
never.
you are not claiming that you have Japanese common sense, do you?
Me?
I don't think you're a very good sample of an average Japanese person.
Really, but okay. One example is I joined the Junior Chamber International more than 10 years and go overseas. Uh, a week congress, whole week, non-Japanese people, and they have a training session. Almost all Japanese never attend those training sessions and go outside doing just only among Japanese people, as you know, like a rugby team and only Japanese, not commingle with non-Japanese people. Still, but very few people join the non-Japanese group for discussing, taking dinner during training. But usually Japanese people never attend this session. You're right. I'm just the exception, maybe. Maybe I just okay. Even if I just join the Chinese organization, recently I don't use Chinese past 5 years. I don't understand very well. But even if you join Chinese organization for 10 hours and the whole day, I don't feel anything strange. So this is maybe different from compared to the normal Japanese. But this is, I think, kind of problem we have. How are we going to solve it? This is my
So discussion about cultural aspect and applying AI or different. Or just pure cultural difference.
Well, I would
be discussing about.
Right, we were talking about cultural difference, but Uno-san was talking about the impacts of AI for journalists and things like that. But I was actually jokingly saying that, okay, well, actually to develop an AI for Japanese journalism is very easy because there is a unified way of thinking. So adopting, the goal is very clear. If you want to apply AI to, for example, journalism, there is one unified goal because that's the common sense. But if you want to do that in a Western society, then you will need a good journalist will need to have a plethora, a wide range of opinions that would appeal to different segments in society, because society is divided. They have different opinions and they're very vocal about it, and they're really going out. Like we look at the United States at the moment, it's very much divided. People are really, really opposing opinions, and they're so. Developing AI for journalism in American society, I think, is much harder than developing AI for journalism in Japan. But it was more of a joke than a serious consideration.
Okay.
木本こっち来た。こっち来た議論に参
Since
加で
you're
きる。
going to discuss
高橋
even
君、高
on
橋。
some output from AI analysis.
Yes.
But for Japanese, we don't even apply the AI on a
もう
single
一つ。
single thing of
矢野君はこれ。
Right.
Because
We don't debate.
we don't debate.
We don't debate.
Yeah.
Basically, we are looking to find the truth in society, in sources that we trust and respect. That's where we get our information from. Now, sources that we trust and respect.
This I don't understand. You're talking about truth. What is it?
Well, okay. Truth is basically is what you feel is the world looks like. So actually, that's your opinion. But yeah. So the opinion is formed by what? The opinion is formed by self-discovery and checking facts against each other, and then coming up with the best synthesis of what you feel that the reality is like. Or it is like basically listening to a teacher or somebody or a newspaper, a source that you really trust and respect, and basically adopting that as your own. That's the yeah. I mean, we cannot say that there is a single truth, because it's very.
I understand
much
this aspect. I and you discussed for 5 years, but every time we have some opinion discrepancies, right?
Yeah, and that's logical, because your history, your viewpoint, your age, your family situation, your education, the country you grew up in, the work environment is completely different from mine.
Okay.
So your viewpoint, your tachiba is different from mine.
Okay.
Just logically speaking, you have a different opinion, but you are actually forming your opinion based on the same principles as a Western person does, which is finding all that information, processing it, and creating your own opinion. I would say that you are an exception to the rule. In Japanese society, people are more forming their opinion based on common sense, on common understanding. You're trying to synthesize what you have observing in Japan and overseas, and in your personal life, in your professional life, and trying to make sense of it all. That is something. Your opinion is the work of internal processing, where I believe a lot of other people in this society form their opinion based on absorption of somebody else's opinion or the common sense opinion, and without any critical reflection or processing.
By the way, do you know that computers infrastructure 7 layers?
Yes, OC?
Yeah, and application down to physical network.
Yeah.
Physical network, just wires and application.
Yeah.
So each level is we have 7 layers how to communicate with computer to computer, right? Or person to person.
Network layer.
Yeah, this is I think very similar to Japanese human communication like that. You're talking about truth. Truth is more top end of communication, and we try to understand each other. But current problem more a little bit down to the deeper layers we have not connected yet, and like Japanese people, newspaper, news, and so forth, and they just possible they don't interested in overseas event.
Why not?
Because because this is easy. Non-Japanese not in front of them, okay, but Suleimani killed or go escaped, but they are not here, right? And what's happening in the United States, European is what kind of event is occurring in Europe, South Asia is happening, but they are not so interested in it.
But that's the
They
same.
have no impact for them.
Right, but somehow it's also there's a. I'm not really sure who came up with that law, but I heard there is a law that basically the impact of an event is inversely related to the distance to where that events take place. Meaning that the further away the impact, even like quadratically, like so it's exponentially with the distance. So a small event that happened in your street has like many more times impact than a huge event that would take place somewhere in Africa. That's the so it is not only Japan. This is something that I believe is common sense.
Okay, I'll give you one
around
example.
The world.
I'll give you one example. Korea, Chosen, Korea. And if I'm going to speak out Korea's good point, what the Korean people, what the good point, Japanese people don't want to watch my YouTube.
Certainly not.
If I'm going to criticize them, everybody willingly to read my articles and watch my YouTube. This is one example, right?
It's comfortable.
It means Japanese people feel comfortable, so journalists and news people pick it up.
Yeah, because you're out of the common sense that basically it doesn't fit the image. So basically, that means that you need to process it and might have to adjust your idea, which is not something that people are very comfortable with. So if you are giving a different viewpoint, that will become uncomfortable because it doesn't fit in the image, and therefore people reject it. It doesn't fit into what I heard before from sources that I more trust and respect than I respect you or trust you. Therefore, they just simply reject your ideas.
China is the same. So we don't know how to solve this consensus among Japanese. So Japanese journalist told me, he said he cannot pick up my opinion because your opinion is the Japanese people don't like it, so they're going to pick it up.
Right.
So this overseas many events, Japanese journalists they cannot pick it up. Japanese people will not accept him. Right? So Trump is the same. We try to emphasize Trump his weak point. Everybody willing to listen the news, and nobody like to the appraisal for Mr. Trump. Right? This is strange. He's a good point, also bad point, but he's very good foreign strategies. I support him, but many people don't.
I don't.
Maybe you don't, but this is the Japanese everybody don't. So this is, I think, why? we need to have these 7 layers and more deeper layers. We have some need to reconstruct the network with among the rest of the world people. I don't know what it is. You live in Japan and you are just a rugby tournament and attended, you know the Japanese reaction against overseas people coming to Japan.
Well, there is an interaction, and Japanese people have been very open and welcoming to meeting with foreigners who attended the tournament. If you look at the number of volunteers, they're not only there for the Japanese guests, but also for the foreign guests, and they are very enthusiastically welcoming everybody. But that is, on the one hand, they are very open and hospitable towards foreigners. At the other hand,
okay, Takashi and Kimoto he is not normal Japanese.
No, especially Kimoto.
They can take dinner with non-Japanese people, and they have no feeling of the the feeling,
Discomfort.
Yeah, communication gap or something. But normal Japanese, they don't want to spend time at dinner with non-Japanese people. Almost all people like that. This is one example. Maybe Yano is also the same, like Kimoto and Takashi. He's not a normal Japanese.
Not
But
Japanese.
this is a problem. How do you feel? Do you the experience of the rugby tournament?
Well, I see this again. We had one of the main reasons why I became project manager of the Rugby World Cup was because there was a big gap between global, everything is happening outside of Japan and inside Japan, which needed to be resolved. So we both needed to get our goals achieved from our sponsorship of the Rugby World Cup, and I see the same thing is happening again. We are now preparing for the Olympics, and again there is a big gap between the Japanese.
You talk a lot at the start of the rugby tournament. You talking about arrangement of the staying place or dinner or bus tour or something like that. But the Japanese people, they force you to consider more detailed or more polite way to consider. And you have lots of problems, right?
Right.
And overseas people not precisely control detailed program and schedule, and they also customer is not so much keen about the kind of detailed arrangement and rough scheduling. They're satisfied, but Japanese not like that. And sort of things usually you talk to me, and you got a lot of issues to discuss with Japanese people.
Right.